Hey, good evening to you. I hope your day is a great one and you're having a great evening as well. So, this video is random realness. Feel free to jump on. Let's chit chat back and forth if you want. So, today I had the opportunity to go out to southeastern Kansas. I had to do a walkthrough on one of our properties. And I never thought I would be quite so thrilled as to get to drive to Coffeyville, Kansas. But the opportunity to get out of the house for an extended period of time and just enjoy the road. I had the sunroof open, had the music turned up on the way back, had an audiobook going on the way there. But it was just a welcome relief in the middle of all this craziness. So I don't know if you can relate. I think a lot of us, we're just hitting that point where, okay, this was okay for a little while, but now we're having to figure out how do we make those mental breaks for ourselves. And so my wife and I were just talking. She kind of hit this last night. I've hit it a little bit this evening where just mentally, you're just kind of drained. I've been thinking through, business issues of my own with my clients, with other individuals. I've been working on things at the church, praying with people, really hearing what's on their heart. And, there just comes a point where you kind of hit a place where I just am drained. And so tonight I definitely hit one of those places. But aside from that, a couple things I want to get into. Obviously, the news came out today that the government has already gone through the money that was set aside to help small businesses, the Paycheck Protection Program. Well, sadly, the majority of small businesses in America have not even seen their funds. So I turned in our information for our business the first Friday that it was open, so I guess that would have been almost 2 weeks ago, and received word that the SBA had it, and I've heard nothing since. And so here's the thing that is very disconcerting, and you really need to be paying attention. Now, obviously, I think Congress is going to approve more stimulus money at some point, and those checks will go out. Here's the danger of that, though. We are spending trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, and I keep saying this. Every time we print more dollars, those dollars become less valuable. They have less purchasing power. So that's concern number one. We are going to see the costs of goods and services begin to increase rapidly, and that's not a good prospect. But here's the other concern that I really have, and it's for just individuals. The government, we already know this. We laugh about it all the time. They make a disaster of anything they touch. And yet, people are expecting them to solve the problems. They're hoping that Congress will continue to send them a check over and over and over again. And that leads nowhere good. And the thing is, it'll never be enough. It'll never be sufficient in the amounts that people are going to need to maintain the quality of life that they're hoping to maintain. And so we've got to be creative. We've got to start thinking about, as people, how do we take ownership of what's going on with our lives? How much longer do we sit as spectators on the sidelines? Or do we get proactive? Do we start taking steps to make a difference in our outcome? And I know I sound like a broken record in these videos because I keep saying the same thing. You need to be thinking about what's your plan? What things are you already putting in place so if your job doesn't come back, you've got something to fall back on. If your hours aren't what they once were, you've got something to fall back on. If your business never is able to come back, you've got something to fall back on. There are options available now for those who are willing to take the initiative and take the effort. And those are the people who are going to come out of this in a much better place than those who've just sat on the sidelines waiting for something to happen. I've got a friend here on Facebook who often says there are three types of people in this world: those that make things happen, those who watch things happen, and those who go, what just happened? And so we don't want to be in those last two. We really want to be the people who are making things happen. So a couple of things that I want to really encourage you. If you are right now facing a downturn in your business, start examining what other sources of revenue could you create, could you tap into, could you begin to implement into what you're already doing. If you are a person who's been furloughed and it looks like your furlough may get extended, what long-term pivot you can make that's going to continue to put groceries on the table. If you are somebody who's not sure your job's going to come back, period, then what's that reinvention you're going to do to get yourself back on your feet again? Because you may not be able to do what it is you've done before. So there's a couple of things that I'm going to continue to put out in front of you, because these are some of the immediate things you can begin to do. Number one, start freelancing. Start offering to do projects for other people. There are freelance websites. There's one in particular that is kind of the clearinghouse, if you will, where most people go to do those kinds of projects and find that kind of work. There are home-based businesses. I was talking to a friend of mine today. He and his wife have a home-based business. They're seeing some of their strongest months right now because people are looking for other options. As I've shared with you, even in our home, we've had two home-based businesses that we've been focused on. One is automotive, one is household goods. They are necessities. They are essentials. They are things that people will continue to buy, and we have the opportunity to leverage that to benefit our family and those that we work with. So be thinking about what are those pivot points you can be making. And then finally, going back to kind of where I started, the brain dump, I'm tired. While you've got this time, don't be afraid to take a little downtime. Do some reading, watch some movies, listen to your favorite music. That was the best part of taking the drive out to Southeast Kansas today. I had 5 hours in the car for a 10-minute walk through on a property. So I used that to my advantage, and I used that to enjoy a beautiful day, enjoyed the weather, enjoyed the music, enjoyed the audiobook. You're going to need some decompression time through all of this. The longer this goes on, and even if you looked at the reopening plan, there's not a state right now that would qualify based on the reopening plan that's being put forth. So although, we're talking reopening May 1st, let's get honest here. Your state may say June, July, August, maybe even longer. Are you prepared to go the long haul? And if you're not, then it's time to be looking at options. As always, if I can help you, if I can bounce ideas with you, if you would like to look at anything you're doing just to see if it is right for you or it makes sense for you, please reach out to me, because it's going to take all of us working together to get through this time with our sanity and our lives somewhat intact. So anyway, have a great evening. I'll talk to you again soon. If you got some ideas, some topics you'd like to have kicked out there over the next few days, put those in the comments.